Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Right, we will start today's session. Today we will start from uh, general setting. Under general settings, we have branding section. We will start from branding section. Okay. Go to company, change company settings, select branding. Now, from this branding, we can add our company logo to our documents, such as customer invoice, quotations, uh, payment vouchers. For those documents, we can add our company logo from this branding. Okay, uh, select company logo. After that, you can click this browse for logo and click choose button, choose file. From here, you can select your company logo. After that, there's option for positioning that logo. From this drop-down menu, you can select your company logo position. It's top left or top right, and you can preview that logo. Now here, I have select top left. You can click preview, then you can view company logo. And there are two options: logo on invoice and statements emails. If you tick this option, logo will display on your invoices and statement emails. Second option, logo on customer zone. If you tick this option, this logo will display in your customer zone. You can view attached logo, and also you can attach this type of logo or files: jpg, TIFF, gif, png, and bmp file format logos you can attach to the system. After you attach, you can preview. From here, you can preview your uh, company logo in documents. Right, now you can attach your company logo to your system. You can attach any picture, and you can check the preview. Okay, next we will move to user defined fields. Now, in Sage Business Cloud Accounting, you can create your customer, supplier uh, items, and also you can enter transactions. Now, when you are creating customers, you can enter these details, your customer postal address, delivery address, contact details. Those details you can enter. In addition to that, if you want to add any additional details, you can use this user defined fields. Now, in here you can view NIC, day, country, under numeric values, amount, lease values, sales targets, under date values, customer birthday, agreement, end date, uh, date field 3. Like that, there are few user defined fields. Now, in your system, you may seen as user text user field 1, text user field 2, like that. In when you are creating your customers, you can see that values in text user field 1. So if you want to change this label, or if you want to rename these labels, text user field 1, then numeric define field 1, those rename you can do it from here. Okay, you can go to company settings, uh, select user defined field, select customer. Now, here you can view three text values, three numeric values, uh, three yes no values, and three date values. So you if you want to add customer NIC number, you can rename first user defined field as NIC. Then it will change under this. When you are creating your customers, this label will change to NIC. Like that, if you want, you can change these user defined fields names. Now, in practical situation, these details may be not enough to, or you may have additional details in customer details you want to record. So you can use these user defined fields to add your additional details. Like that, customer, you have supplier also has user defined fields. When you are creating your suppliers, you can add or you can rename these user defined fields. Now, for an example, when you are creating suppliers, you may need to enter agreement date, or if you want to add any dates, agreement start date, agreement end date, then agreement values, those things you can add under user defined fields. And these labels you can change from uh, this user defined fields under company settings. Item also has these user defined field values. You can go to items, click add an item, and go to user defined fields. You can view these values. uh, and asset also has user defined fields. Go to company assets, add an asset. Here you can add, for an example, actually you can maintain your fixed asset register in uh, Sage Business Cloud accounting software, and you can add asset here. And if you want to enter additional details, for an example, if you are purchasing any vehicle, you can add that asset to this asset list, and you can enter engine capacity, then revenue license expiry date, service date. Those things you can add here under user defined fields. Furthermore, in addition to master files, you can add these user-defined fields for documents and transaction. Now here you can view customer codes. You can open a customer quotation, go to customers, transactions, customer codes, click add code. You can click these options, and you can view, you can select show user defined fields. After you click that show user defined fields, you can view this screen. Here you can enter additional details. Now here you can enter customer name, document number, customer reference, tax number. And if in addition to that, if you want to add any details, you can use this user defined fields. You can enter user defined fields for customer quotations, customer sales orders, customer tax invoice, customer credit note, supplier purchase order, supplier invoice, supplier return, and banking transaction and journals. Okay, you can rename here, and after you rename, please save this, and you can go to that transaction. For an example, if you are changing these user defined fields in customer quotations, you can change here and save. Go to customer quotations, click add code, click options, and click show user defined fields. Then you can see this user defined field names has changed. Okay, like that you can add additional information, and you can change those label names from company settings, and under user defined fields you can select that master file or document and transaction, and you can change that labels. Okay, now you can change your user defined fields. You can change customer user defined fields. You can add agreement date, customer birthday, like those details. You can check, you can change, and you can check. You can change that label names in customer, supplier, item, assets, and document and transactions. And also under text values, you can enter text and numbers both, or letters and numbers both. But in number values, when you are entering these values, uh, under numeric values, you can enter numbers only. And under yes, no values, you can select only yes, no only. Here you can, for your yes, no values, you can tick or untick. And date values, you can select date values only. Here, numeric values, you can enter numbers, and text values, you can enter letters or numbers or any characters you can enter. Right. Next, we will move to email signatures. Now, in Sage Business Cloud Accounting Software, you can enter transactions, and you can directly email those transactions to your customers or suppliers. Now, for an example, if you are entering a tax invoice, you can email that tax invoice to your customer. So, when you are creating that email, you can design that email body. Now we will enter one tax invoice, go to customers, transactions, customer tax invoices. We can directly email, go to actions and email. Here, mail. Now you can see that recipient email address display. Under message body, you can view that dear, that name available. Then please find attached invoice number available, then amount available, and there are some wordings, and you can without typing those message, you can automate that message. Okay. Now we can go to email signatures, and we can preview this tax invoice. Now here you can view tax invoice under subject, tax invoice, and tax invoice as a bracket. Now these bracket values, system will fill from your database. Okay. Now dear, here contact number. Now if we open this email again, you can see tax invoice in wording available. Here also that tax invoice wording available, and after that, under in brackets, you can see this invoice number. That details will pick from the system, and it will display here. Next, dear and contact name. We will open that customer. Right here, you can see that contact name. And that contact name pick from the customer details. Like that, you can set your email body from this email signature settings. And also you can add invoice number and invoice total, and you can enter username, company name, those details you can add from here. Right. Now we will create an email signature. To create an email signature, click this add signature, and you can enter a name for that signature. Now for an example, if you are creating invoice, we can add a name for that. After that, you can select the type. Now, if you are creating this email signature for quotation, you can select quote. Or if you are creating in this signature for tax invoice or invoice, you can select tax invoice. Like that, you can select the document type. If you are creating for credit note, you can select credit note. Then there's default button. Now, if you take this default option, when you are creating or when you are sending that email, this layout will select from the system. Okay. Now you may create different email signatures, and if you tick this default option, system will select this email signature as your default signature. Then insert placeholders. Now from here we can set or we can get database values from here. Now for an example, previous tax invoice, here tax invoice, and then invoice number display. You can enter or you can type that tax invoice. And if you want to display tax invoice number in subject line, you can select this placeholder invoice number. Then it will display when you are sending this email. Okay. Like that, you can enter, you can design your email body, and you can create hi. Then if you want to add contact name, you can add contact name. Like that, you can add these fields, and you can design your email signature. You can add invoice number, invoice total, due date, username, company name, customer name. Those details you can add from here. After you create the signature, you don't want to type that email again. System will automatically get these details if available. For an example, if you have enter customer contact name when you are creating customers, those details will display in your email signature or email body. After you create your email signature, you can save. Okay, I'll repeat it again. Uh, in Sage Business Cloud Accounting, you can directly email your documents to your customer or suppliers. Uh, and when you are sending emails, you can create an email, and you can design this email message from company settings. Go to company settings, select email signatures, and click add signature. Enter signature name, select document type, and after that you can design your email signature. After you design email signature, you can save. Okay, right. Now you can add email signature in your system. Okay, after you create that signatures, you can view those signatures from this manage signatures. And from here you can view that additional email signature templates. If you want to edit or delete, you can edit or delete from here. Okay, next we will move to multi-currency. Now in this system you can create home currency, and you can create additional currencies such as foreign currencies, USD, Singapore dollars, GBP, like that. You can create multi currencies. Before you create multi-currency, you need to activate your multi-currency. Actually, the multi-currency is an add-on module. Uh, Add-on module is a now company. This system has some features. In addition to that, if you want to add any feature, you can add uh, as a add-on module. Now, multi-currency also add-on module. You can activate your multi-currency module from administration, my profile, then click upgrade. Under choose your module options, you can enter one in this multi-currency, and you can click next and finish. Okay, then your multi-currency will activate. After you enable your multi-currency, first you need to create your home currency. Uh, Now you have created or you have enabled your multi-currency. Then from here you can tick enable multi-currency option, and you can select your home currency. Right now, if you are implementing the system for Sri Lankan company, you can select Sri Lankan rupee as home currency, or if you are implementing for a different country, you can select that currency as your home currency. And one important thing, after you set your home currency, you cannot change that home currency. Therefore, when you select your home currency, please carefully select and save your home currency. After you create your home currency, you can add currencies by clicking this add currency. You can view your home currency, and you can select multi currencies and click add. After you add that foreign currencies, you can view currency code, currency description, currency rates, one currency, then convert to Sri Lankan rupees, and symbol of that currency. If you have any comments, you can view that comment, and also you can view the home currency. And this exchange rate will automatically update from European Central Bank exchange rate, and you can change this exchange rate date and exchange rates. After you add any currency, if you want to remove that currency, by clicking this red color button, you can delete that currency. Okay, after you enter these details, you can save. Right now, you can enable your multi-currency module, and you can set your home currency. From administration, my profile, you can add that your multi-currency. Click upgrade, enter one under multi-currency and click next. Then your multi-currency module will activate. After that, go to company settings, select multi-currency, click on enable multi-currency option, select your home currency, and save. After that, you can add your foreign currencies. You can add currencies by clicking this add currency button. After you create currencies, you can view that currency code, currency description, one currency for that. For an example, this first one, AFN, Afghani. For that currency, how many rupees, that exchange rate you can view. Then 1 rupee equal to how many Afghani, and you can view that currency symbol from this current multi-currency grid. Okay, now you can view exchange rate for this date, and if you want to view exchange rate uh, in different date, you can select that date from the calendar and you can view the exchange rate. In addition to that, now sometimes you may take different exchange rate. In that case, you can edit this exchange rate by clicking this edit button. Then this screen will open. From this screen, you can select new custom exchange rate. After that, you can select the date range from which date to which date you want to change that exchange rate. And from here, you can enter that exchange rate. Okay, you can enter either how many rupees for that Australian dollar, or uh, how many Australian dollars per 1 rupee. Okay, these details you can change and you can update. If you select any date range here, for an example, 1st of July to 31st July, then this rate will applicable for all transaction in this period. Okay, you can change your exchange rate. Now current exchange rate is 149 cents, 575779. Now if you want to change this rate, you can change from here, and you can set a date range and you can update. Then when you are entering transactions, this exchange rate will set from the system. If you have activated this multi-currency module, you can create, when you are creating customers, you can select that customer's currency, and you can set that customer currency to suppliers. And when you are entering transactions in foreign customers, those customers currency will display. Okay, now I have selected this customer. That customer's currency is AED, and when you select that customer, you can view that exchange rate and customer's balance in customer's currency, credit limit in customer's currency, and exchange rates. And when you are invoicing to that customer, values will come in that customer's currency. Okay, now we have completed company settings. Next, we will move to master file creation. Okay, before last session, first session actually, we have created some customer, supplier, and inventory. But now here, we will create customer, supplier, inventory, bank accounts, GL accounts in detail. Okay, first we will create a customer. You can create customers by clicking customers, list of customers, and click add a customer, or you can directly create a customer from customers, add a customer. This screen, you can enter customer details, you can enter customer name, and if you have any customer categories, you can select that category. Now for an example, in practical situation, you may group your customers. Actually, category is a group. You can group your customers, uh, wholesale customer, retail customer, like that you can create. And also region wise, you can create customers, uh, Colombo, Kandy, Galle, Matra, like that you can group customers. And from here you can select that group name, and that group mainly used for reporting purposes when you are generating customer reports, or if you want to generate uh, customer sales in group, you can use this category to generate that report. Next, cash sale customer. If you select this cash sale customer, other all details will inactivated, because cash customers detail you don't want to maintain. Okay, if you want to maintain details, you can untick this option. Next, open imbalance. In practical situation, you may implement the system for all company or new company. If you are implementing for new company, you don't have any customers, and you may not have customer opening balances. But if you are creating, or if you are implementing this system for all company, there may be customers and customer balances available. In that case, you can use this opening balance to enter customer opening balance, and you can select opening balance as a date. Now for an example, if you are implementing this system from 1st of April, then you can select that opening balance as a date as 1st of April 2021, and you can enter opening balance as at 31st March 2021. Okay, because 1st of April balance, there may be sometimes transaction, therefore prior date of that system implementation date, you can use as opening balance as a date. Now, if you are implementing the system from 1st of April 2021, you can use 31st March 2021 as your opening balance date. And you can enter uh, 31st March 2021 opening balance for this customer. Next, credit limit. If you are selling or if you are giving credit to your customers, you can enter uh, customer credit limit. Now, if you enter any credit limit, if that customer credit limit exceeding, you can get an alert. When you are entering transaction, system will pop up a message. Okay, we will enter some transaction. Okay, now this customer credit limit is 100,000. We will enter one transaction for this customer. Currently, he has balance 70,000. He can go up to 30,000. We will enter one transaction. We will enter customer tax invoice. Go to customers, transactions, customer tax invoice. Okay, select the customer. Now you can see balance is 70,000, credit limit is 100,000. Now we will enter 250,000 item. When we are saving, system will pop up a message. Your credit limit will be exceeded. Would you like to continue? And if you want to continue, you can click yes and you can continue. Okay, like that. If you enter any credit limit for customer, when you are entering transaction, when you are entering customer invoices, if customer's credit limit exceed, system will pop up a message. Right. Next, tax reference. If you are a tax registered company, you can enter your customer tax reference number. Okay, especially now, if you are a tax registered company, when you are invoicing, you have to mention that customer's tax invoice tax number in the invoice. Therefore, uh, if if you are a VAT registered company and your customer also VAT registered company, then enter that customer's tax reference number here. Then you can print that tax number in your invoices. Next, sales reps. Now, in your company, sometimes you may have sales reps, and you want to maintain or you want to keep record for each sales rep how much sales they will generate. In that case, you can create sales reps, and when you are creating a customer, you can link that sales rep to that customer. Okay, when you are creating, you can link that sales rep, and when you are entering transactions, that sales rep name will be displayed in that transaction. Now we will enter one transaction. Okay, we will okay, when you select the customer, you can see that link sales rep will display here. And also, if you want, you can change the sales rep name when you are processing the transaction. For an example, initially allocated this sales rep, but this invoice will or the sales will generate from another sales rep. And if you want to assign that sales rep, you can change from here. Right. Next, active. Now, if you take this option, that customer is active, and in sometimes you may, after dealing with the customer, you may realize that that customer will not pay properly, and that customer has many outstanding. So you want to block that customer. In that case, you can uh, untick this option, active option, then that customer will inactivated. So if you want, you can invoice for that customer, or you can block this customer. I think you can remember when we are doing company settings, we have done few changes for that under customer settings. Now here you can see display inactive customers for selection when processing. Now, if you inactivated any customers, if you want to block, you can use these settings. Or if you want to allow inactivated customers settings, you can tick this option. And if you want to block, you can untick this option. Okay. Under company settings, general settings, uh, customer and supplier settings, the third option, display inactive customer for selection when processing. if you untick this option, if you inactivated any customer, that customer's name will not display when you are processing transactions. Right. Next, auto allocate receipt to oldest invoices. Now, you may see that when you are paying your electricity bills or utility bills, that when you are, if you have old invoices, first that their system will uh, allocate our payment to oldest invoices. Like that, here also, if you want to allocate when customer pays to you, you can automatically allocate to oldest invoice, or you can manually select that invoices. Now, if you tick this option, auto allocate receipt to oldest invoice, then when you are entering receipt to customer, that customer has any old invoices, system will allocate that receipt to oldest invoice. Okay, we will do example. Now we can go to customers, transactions, customer receipts. Click add receipt. From here we can enter customer receipts. First we need to select customer name. Then when we select customer name, system will display what are the outstanding for this customer. Now you can see there are several invoices with date range. You can see these dates and you can see outstanding amount. Now we will enter, I'll enter 121,000. So here under amount, receipt amount, you can enter that payment amount. Now you can see this that receipt value automatically allocated to oldest invoices. I'll repeat it again. Now I deleted that receipt amount. You can see it will allocate tick will apply for these outstanding invoices. I'll enter 120,000. Then system will automatically allocate that amount to oldest invoices. And if you take this option, auto allocate receipt to oldest invoice, when you are entering receipt for any customer, then your receipt will allocate to oldest invoice. And also if you want to manually allocate invoices, you can untick this option and you can select, or from here you can untick this option. If you untick this from here, you can manually allocate your receipt to invoices. Right, next, exclude from debtors manager. Now the system has another add-on module called debtors manager. Now from this debtors manager, you can set workflows. Okay? You can set outstanding invoices workflow. Now if your customer has outstanding more than 28 days, you can send an email. Okay? And also if your customer has overdue invoices, now overdue invoices means you have a customer and you are giving credit period, and if customer exceed that credit period also, it will become a overdue invoice. Then if you want to send email reminders after 1 day, you can set from here. We will discuss this debtors manager module in detail when we are doing this customer module. And also if you want to hold this customer, you can set from this outstanding invoices workflow. Now this setting, exclude from debtors manager. So if you tick this option, then you will exclude from this debtors manager, and these workflow settings will not apply for that customer. Now if you tick this option or if you untick this option, then those changes will apply for this customer, and system will send email reminders, outstanding invoices, overdue invoice reminders, and that customer will on hold if he has outstanding. And from exclude from debtors manager, now if you don't want to send email reminders, overdue invoice reminders, and you don't want to block that customer even though if customer has outstanding, so in that case you can take this option, exclude. Okay, exclude from debtors manager, and that customer will not get outstanding invoice reminder, overdue invoice reminder, and customer will not hold even though that customer has outstanding invoices. Okay, and if you want to send email reminders, outstanding reminders, you can untick this option. Right. Next, new invoices on hold. Now, if you want to block to invoicing for this customer, you can tick this option. Now, if a customer has exceed the credit limit and you want to block that this customer, you can tick this option. Then your users cannot invoice for this customer. Okay, that company users cannot enter invoices for this customer. Okay, those are initial settings. Next, we will move to this postal address and contact details. Right, now here you can enter customer postal address and customer delivery address. I'll open customer with transactions. Okay, now this customer has entered postal address, and if you want to copy that postal address to delivery address, by clicking this copy from postal address, you can fill that details. If your customer's postal address and delivery address are same, you can use this option. And if it is a different, the delivery address is different, you can enter that details. Next, map. You can link that address to Google Map, and if you are delivering goods, your sales rep or your delivery person use this app map. You can Google Map that delivery person can use, and he can use this location. Okay. Right. Next, contact name. If you have that customer's contact name, customer's contact person name, you can enter under contact name. And also you can enter customer email address, telephone number, mobile number, fax number, and web address. And if you have entered an email address here, you can directly email your customer documents, such as customer quotations, sales orders, invoices, receipt. You can directly email to this customer. Okay. And also if you want to send an email, you can click this link and you can send an email. And also if you have Skype, if you want to make a Skype call, by clicking this mobile number, you can make a Skype call. And also if you want to view customers website, by clicking that website link, you can log into that customer website. Right. Those details you can enter: postal address, delivery address, and contact details. Then there are three options. Invoices can be viewed online, send outstanding invoice reminder, send overdue invoice reminder. First one, invoices can be viewed online. Now, when you are creating these company settings, you can remember we have created that customer zone. Now from here, we can enable our customer zone, and when we are sending emails to our customers, they can click that link and they can view their account history, such as invoices, outstanding invoices, payments, account statement, they can view. Now, if we enable customer zone from here, it will apply to all customers. Okay, we can enable our customer zone from here, and if we enable our customer zone here, it will apply to all customers. And sometimes you want to block for particular customers viewing invoices online. For their one of your customers, you want to block viewing their invoices online. In that case, you can untick this option. Okay, if you untick this option, your customers cannot view invoices online. Right. Next one, send outstanding invoice reminders. Now we have discussed this debtors manager module. From here, we can send outstanding invoice reminders and overdue invoice reminders in these days. Now, if you if you don't want to send outstanding invoice reminders and overdue invoice reminders, you can untick this option. If you want to send, you can take this option. Okay. If you want to send invoice reminders, now from here, if you set this workflow, it will apply for all your customers. And if you want to change that setting for particular customer, you can open that customer and you can tick here if you want to send outstanding invoice reminder and overdue invoice reminder. If you untick this option, that customer cannot, or you are not sending, or system not send uh, outstanding invoice reminders and overdue invoice reminders. Okay, right. Next, business registration number. If you have that customer's business registration number, you can enter here. And customer is a tax registered customer, you can enter that tax registered date. Right. Next, default settings. Now, from default settings, we can enter details. And when you are enter any transaction, these default settings or default details will display. Now, for an example, if we set a default discount here 10%, then when we are entering transaction, that 10% will apply when you are processing that transaction. Okay, and we can change that default setting when you are processing the transaction. Okay, now first one, statement distribution. Now there are four methods of email distribution: none, print, email, print, and email. Now if your customers don't want any customer statement, you can select none. And if your customer wants printed email, or sorry, printed statement, you can select print. And if your customer wants their statement in email, you can select email. And if your customer wants both print and email statement, you can select print and email. Right. Now, one important thing, if you select email or print and email, you must enter email address here. Okay, otherwise system will not allow to save this customer, right? uh, if you don't enter any email address here, please select none or print under statement distribution method. And if you want to select print or print an email, please enter any email address here, right? Next, default discount. Now here you can enter default discount rate. And when you are entering transactions for that customer, that default discount rate will apply for that transaction. We will enter quotation. Now you can see when you select that customer, that default discount rate will apply. And if you want to change, you can change when you are processing the transaction. Actually, this is for your easiness. It will you can set default discount, and if you want, you can change this discount percentage when you are processing the transaction. Next, default price list. Now, assume you are selling your items at different prices for different customers. In practical situation, for wholesale customers, you may sell at a different rate, and for your retail customers, you may sell at a different rate. Then you can set or you can link that price list when you are creating that customer, and when you are invoicing or when you are entering transaction for that customer, the applicable rates will apply in the invoice. Okay. And also, I think you can remember when we are setting up our company settings, we have set price list. You can go for price list, or you can create price list from company, change company settings, general settings, item settings. From here, you can create your price list. Right. You can say after you create your price list, you can link price list for this customer. Next, default tax rate or default tax type. You can create tax types from tax settings. You can create tax rate, and you can link that tax rate to your customer. If your customer is a tax registered or VAT registered customer, you can select that tax rate. Or if that customer is not a tax registered company, you can select no tax. And when you enter transactions, you can view that customer. If that customer is a tax registered customer, tax rate will apply for that transaction. Right here, you can see tax rate apply when you set default tax rate. Right. Next, credit limit. Now, if you are giving credit limit to your customers, you can enter number of days for credit limit. Now, here we have entered 30. We will enter customer tax invoice. Right. Now you can see invoice date is July 8th and due date 7th August. Okay. Now here 30 days for due date, because we have set 30 days for due date for payment. Therefore, this invoice due date is after 30 days. Right, next, customer currency. You can select customer currency from here. If you have foreign customers, you can select currency. You can select customer's currency. And if you have processed any transaction, after that you cannot change customer's currency. Now here, this customer has a few transactions, therefore you cannot change this customer's currency. Therefore, when you are selecting customer's currency, please carefully check and select. After you have entered in transactions, you cannot change that customer's currency. Right here, we can enter customer details, and there are another few tabs. Activity, additional contacts, notes, user-defined fields, personal information, sales graphs, codes, sales orders, invoices and reports, report layouts. Okay, after you enter transactions, now you have created one customer and you have saved that customer, and you enter a few transactions for that customer. After you enter transaction, system will automatically update this activity. From activity, you can view customer adjustment, customer opening balance, tax invoices, credit limit or credit notes, sorry, customer receipts including discount, and customer balance. Okay, these details here you don't want to enter. From system, it will display these details. This will display as summary. Now that customer total tax invoices 95,000. If you want to view details, by clicking this detail button, you can view that details. Okay, now this customer has 4 invoices. Those details you can view. And also, if you want to view that details of this invoice, by clicking this detail button, you can view that invoice details. Okay, like that, you can view. If you want, you can view credit notes, customer receipts, you can view. Then outstanding, you can view from by clicking this balance. Right, next, additional contacts. Now from here, when you are creating customers, under details tab, you can enter customer contact details. In addition to that, if you want to add another person uh, in that company, you can enter that additional contacts here. You can enter the contact name, designation, telephone number, fax, mobile, email details you can enter. And if you want to add more people, by clicking this plus mark, you can add additional contacts. And also, you can see there are two columns: OS invoices, overdue invoices. OS invoices is outstanding invoices, and overdue invoices is overdue invoices. Now, when you are creating this debtors manager outstanding workflow, you can send outstanding invoice reminders and overdue invoice reminders. If you want to send outstanding invoice reminders and overdue invoice reminders for these additional contacts, you can tick these options. Okay, If you want to send outstanding invoice reminders and overdue invoice reminders to these additional contacts, you can tick this option. Then system will send outstanding invoice reminders and overdue invoice reminders to these additional contacts also. Okay, now from notes, we will discuss after the break. We will take a 10-minute break. Uh, after we will start by 4:40, and I have sent that user manuals from chat box. You can download from user manuals from chat box. If you have, if you need any clarifications, please ask. Okay, we will start by 4:40. Okay, we'll start. Next, Notes tab. Now from Notes tab, we can enter uh, any if we have any meetings or to payment collect or customer visit, those notes we can enter under Notes tab. Now from here you can add notes by clicking this plus mark, and entry date you can view, and action date you can enter here. Now for an example, if we have a meeting with that customer on 15th July, we can set 15th July as action date, and here subject we can enter that meeting, and note we can enter details. Okay, meeting details we can enter here. After you enter that details, or if you add a note, you can view that note from your dashboard. Okay, you can view from this dashboard. Go to to-do list. From to-do list you can view uh, that customer notes. By clicking this plus mark you can drill down, and you can view customer notes. And also if that were completed, you can view as completed. Okay. And also each note you can attach documents. By clicking this file mark you can attach documents, and you can attach up to 2 MB, and you can attach up to 5 attachments. For example, if customer promise to do a payment to you, you can if that customer has sent any documents or PDF documents, you can attach that here, and you can save in the system. And if you want to add any notes, by clicking this plus mark you can add, and if you want to remove any notes, by clicking this red color minus mark you can remove that note. After you enter notes you can save. Right. Next, user defined fields. From here you can enter additional details if you want to add in addition to these details. You can rename these labels from company settings, change company settings, and from user defined fields you can change this, or you can rename these labels. Okay, after that you can enter that user defined details. Enter user defined fields and you can save. In these text values you can enter letters, numbers, special characters, and numeric values you can enter only uh, numbers only, and for yes no values you can tick or untick, and date values you can select only dates. Right. Next, personal information. Now according to Data Protection Act, you can keep customer or supplier data for a particular period of time, and if you want to increase that details you can extend from here. Now when you are implementing the system under general settings, there's personal information. We have set how many years we are keeping that customer records, and if you want to extend that period, from here you can extend that period. Right. Next, sales graphs. Sales graph will display in here, and these details will fill from according to customers transaction. Now customer sales you can view from here, And by clicking this graph, you can view each date. Now here it's July 2021, and if you want to view that in details this July 2021 sales, you can click that bar. Then it will display each date uh, invoice or each date sales. And if you want to drill down this bar also, you can click here, and you can view detail. And if you want to view this invoice, you can click this detail button, and you can view what is the invoice. Now if you have sales in last year, you can see in dark blue, and this year sales it will in light blue. And if you want, you can analyze customer sales from this sales graph. You can analyze previous years and current year monthly sales from this sales graph. And also you can change these settings from by clicking this show settings. If you want to add transaction types, by ticking this transaction types, you can add. If you want to remove credit notes from that sales graph, you can untick this option. And from financial category, you can add sales and other income. Okay, and from here, by clicking hide setting, you can hide settings. Next, quotes. From here, you can view customer quotations. You can view document number, customer reference, document date, and status of that document, and value of that quotation. Now here, status, you can view invoice and pending. If you convert that invoice quotation to an invoice, status will change to invoice. Right. Next, sales orders. From here, you can view customer sales orders. And by clicking detail, you can view the sales order details. Next, invoices. Invoices tab, you can view what are the invoices for that customer. You can view invoice date, invoice number, customer reference number, due date for that invoice, anticipated payment date, total of that invoice, and outstanding amount in that invoice. And from here, you can view the status. And if you want to include paid invoices, you can tick this option. And currently, it's showing unpaid invoices. If you want to include paid invoices, you can tick this option. Then system will display paid invoices. You can see now first invoice is a paid invoice. Total is 25,000. Outstanding is 0. That means it's already paid. Status has changed to paid. And also, if you want to send emails, uh, these outstanding invoice emails to your customers, you can select or you can tick that outstanding invoices, and from here you can email by clicking email invoice. Or if you want to print, you can print by clicking this print invoice button. Next, report layouts. Now from here, from system, you can design your invoice layouts. uh, you can go to company settings, document and statements, invoice and statement layout. By downloading accounting custom layout designer, you can design your layouts. And after you design any layouts, you can select from here. Now you can design layouts for quotations, sales orders, tax invoice, credit note, customer statement, delivery note. For that layouts, you can design layouts, and after you design layouts, you can select from here. Okay, uh, you may have a few default layouts. In addition to that, if you want, you can design additional layouts, and uh, design layout you can select from here. Now when you are when you are implementing the system, you have set default layouts. This will apply for all customers. Now if you design any layout for tax invoice, and if you select here, it will apply for all customers. And if you want to change for a particular customer, you can change from here. Now, for an example, if you are a tax registered company, and you will issue tax invoice for your customers, tax registered customers, and assume you are a SWAT registered customer. So you are issuing a SWAT registered SWAT invoice for SWAT registered customers. Other customers, you will issue a tax invoice. Now from this company settings, invoice and statements layout, you will select tax invoice under default layout for tax invoice. And now you are creating a SWAT registered customer. In that case, you can select a SWAT invoice format for this customer. Then when you are printing or when you are invoicing any customer invoice, uh, that customer will receive a SWAT format invoice. Okay, like that. From here, company settings, you can set default layout, and if you want to change that layout for particular customer, you can change from here. Okay. After you select that layout, you can save customer, right? Like that, you can enter customer details. Now even with the customer name also, even entering customer name, you can save the customer, but it's better if you can enter other details also. Postal address, contact details, default price list, VAT rates, you can enter those details and you can save. Or even entering customer name, you can save any customer. And if you haven't entered any email address, please select this statement distribution method as print or none. Otherwise, you cannot save the customer. Okay, right. Now you can create two customers, and you can check these options. You can enter customer names, address, telephone numbers, then currencies, number of days outstanding. Those details you can enter now. Okay, like that, you can create customers, go to customers, add a customer, or you can go to customers, list of customers, and click add a customer. Right, next we will move to list of sales reps. You can create sales reps from here by clicking add sales rep. You can enter sales rep first name, last name, and email address, and you can enter telephone number and mobile number. After that, you can save, and here also if you want to add any notes, you can add here. And if you want to active or inactive this sales rep later, you can tick or untick. If it is tick, this sales rep is active, and if it is untick, sales rep is inactive. Next, customer categories. From here, you can create customer categories. By clicking this add category, you can add customer category. You can enter the name and you can save. Like that, you can create customer sales reps and customer categories. Furthermore, when you are creating customer also, you can create those customer category by clicking this customer category and click add new category, enter category name and save. And for sales rep also, you can by clicking this drill down menu and select add new sales, and from here you can create new sales rep. Okay, now you can create sales reps and customer categories. Okay, after you create your customers, you can view that list of customers. From this customer grid, you can view customer name, category, customer balance, credit limit, those details. And if you want to add or if you want to remove any column, by clicking this customize grid button, you can edit your customer grid. You can select customize grid and columns will display here. If you want to add any column, you can tick that column, and if you want to remove any column, you can untick that column. Okay, and after save, you can view that details, and you can change this column width. And also now from this list, by clicking this heading, you can sort this grid ascending or descending order. Now if you want to sort by balance, you can click this balance, and you can view the customer balance, and highest balance you want to get first, you can click other way. Like that you can sort by name, then customer credit limit. Like that you can sort this grid by ascending or descending order by clicking these headings. Next, if you want, you can sort, you can download as CSV file this list, and you can sort multi-column. Now first, from here we have sorted only from one heading. Now if you want to sort by multi-column heading, by clicking this icon, A to Z arrow icon, you can sort by multi-column sorting. From here you can add levels, and you can select that field name or column name, and you can select the order, ascending or descending, or A to Z or Z to A. Like that you can add multi-columns and you can sort. Right. Next, filters. You can filter details or customers who have brought this month, or customers who brought today. Those details you can filter. And also, if you want to search any customer, by typing here, you can search, right? Even part of that customer name, uh, by typing you can sort or you can search customers. And also there are few options. Now you can see that inactivated items available here: delete, mark as active, inactive, update. And if you tick any customer, you can see that buttons will activate. And by clicking this, ticking this, you can select those customers. And if you want to delete, by clicking this delete button, you can delete that customers. And if any customer has transactions, you cannot delete that customers. Right, next, mark as active or inactive. Now you can select few customers. You can check that customer, whether that customer is active or inactive from here. Now first customer is inactive customer because that active tick is not available. Now you want to make these three customers as inactive. Select mark as active or inactive, untick this option and save. Then you can see those customers also inactivated. Here ticks, untick. And if you want to active again, you can select those customers and click mark as active, inactive, tick here and save. Next, update. You can select any field from here. Now we'll change. Now we want to change these 3 customers sales rep to this Brad Silva. We will select these 3 customers and click on update and select the field. Now we want to change sales rep. Select sales rep, and from sales rep drop down menu, select the sales rep and save. Now you can see those customers sales rep has changed. Like that, from these fields, except customer address, these fields you can change. Category, sales rep, auto allocate, those details you can change from at once by selecting these customers. Next, actions. From here, by clicking this action, you can quick view that customer details, invoices, outstanding, all transactions, quotations you can view from here. Customer balances. Next, if you want to delete, if you want to edit this customer, by clicking this edit button, you can edit that customer. Or by clicking this blue color link, you can open the customer, and if you want to change any details, the contact name, email, telephone numbers, you can change from here. Next, delete. If you want to delete any customer, by clicking this action and you can delete. And if you want to add any invoice, by clicking add invoice, you can create invoice. Or if you want to create any quotations or sales orders, customer receipts for this customer, by clicking this action and you can select the particular transaction and you can create that transaction. Okay, now I have created quotation, process code. Next, view statement. If you want to view that customer statement, you can view from here. Right, like that, we can create customers, sales reps, and customer categories, and we can customize customer grid from here. Same way, you can view your sales reps and your customer categories. Okay, now you can check that customization of that customer grid. And if you have created any foreign currency customers, you can view that customer balance and credit limit in customer's currency. Right. Next, we will move to supplier master files. You can create suppliers by clicking suppliers, add a supplier, or you can go click suppliers, list of suppliers, and by clicking add a supplier. Right. From here, you can enter supplier name, and if you have supplier category, you can enter supplier category. Uh, you can create supplier by entering supplier name and save, and it's better if you can add other details. Okay. Now, next, open imbalance. If your if your supplier has open imbalance, you can enter that open imbalance. Especially if you are implementing for all company, you may have supplier open imbalances, and if you have supplier open imbalance, you can enter here and you can select that open imbalance as at date. Next, active, inactive. Now, if this active tick is ticked, that supplier is active supplier, and later if you want to inactivate this supplier, you can untick this option. Next, credit limit. If your supplier giving credit limit, you can enter credit limit here. Next, tax reference. If you are a tax registered company and your supplier also tax registered company, you can enter supplier's tax reference number. Next, auto allocate payments to oldest invoice. If you tick this option, when you are entering payments, system will allocate that supplier payment to oldest invoices. We will check one example, like customer allocation. Go to suppliers, transactions, supplier payment, select add supplier payment, select the supplier here. After you select the supplier, you can view that supplier outstanding. You can enter payment amount here. Then you can see that supplier payment has allocated to first 3 invoices. And if you want to manually allocate invoices, you can untick this option. Right. Next, there are few tabs: detail, activity, additional contacts, banking details, notes, user-defined fields, personal information, purchases graphs, purchase orders, unpaid invoices, and report layouts. First, we will go to details. Now from here, you can enter supplier postal address. And if it is a similar address, you can copy to this physical address. For demonstration purposes, we will open a supplier with transactions. Right, now here you can enter postal address, and if supplier's physical address also same address, you can copy from postal address, and you can link for Google Map, and when you are going to purchase items, you can use this Google Map. Next, contact details. From here you can enter contact details of that supplier: contact person name, email address, telephone, mobile, fax, web address, and By clicking these links, you can directly email, or you can make a Skype call, or you can visit that web address. Right, next, supplier business registration number. Uh, Next, RMCD approval number, that is actually not relevant for Sri Lanka. Then GST status verified. If your supplier's tax registered date, you can enter here. Next, default settings. From default settings, you can enter default discount. Now, if you enter default discount, when you are enter any transactions for that supplier, that default rate discount will apply. We will enter one purchase order, click add purchase order, go to suppliers, transactions, supplier purchase order, click add purchase order and select the supplier. Now here you can see that default discount rate apply to this transaction. And if you want to change, when you are processing the transaction, you can change this discount percentage. Right. Next, default tax type. If your supplier is a tax registered company, you can select the default, or you can select the tax rate. And if that supplier is not a tax registered company, you can select no tax. Then due date for payment. If your supplier giving you credit period, you can enter number of days. Okay. Then when you are entering any transaction, we will enter supplier invoice, go to suppliers, transactions, supplier invoice, click add supplier invoice, select the supplier. Now you can see date, today's date, that document date, and due date after 30 days. Okay, if you set any default due date for payment, then system will calculate that number of days when you are processing transactions. Next, customer supplier currency. If you have activated multi-currency, you can select that currency. And if you have entered any transaction, after that you cannot change that supplier's currency. Okay, therefore before save the customer, please check supplier's currency and save. Right, like that you can enter customer details. Next, customer details, supplier details. Next, supplier activity. From here you can view that supplier's transaction, open imbalance, supplier adjustments, supplier invoice, supplier returns, supplier payment, and supplier balances. And if you want to view detail, now for if you want to view supplier invoices in detail, you can click this detail button, and you can view what are the supplier invoices you have entered. And also if you want to view this detail also, you can click detail, then you can open the supplier invoice. Next, additional contacts. You can add additional contacts of that supplier. You can enter supplier contact name, designation, telephone number, fax, mobile, email. And if you want to add additional contacts, another additional contact, you can add by clicking this green color plus mark. And if you want to remove By clicking this red color minus mark, you can remove that contact. After that, you can save additional contacts. Next, banking details. You can enter supplier bank details here, account holder name, account number, bank name, bank branch, and account type. In addition to that, these details can enter or view by only authorized person. Now from here you can go to administration, user control access. Here you can enter that if you allowed to users to enter that suppliers bank details, that user can add or edit suppliers bank details. Okay, view supplier banks. You can give the permission to view or edit these supplier bank details. Okay, right. Next, notes. From here you can enter notes. Then if you add any notes, it will display in your dashboard. Go to home, dashboard. From here you can view supplier notes. And next, user defined fields. You can add user defined fields from here, and from under details you can enter supplier details. In addition to that, if you want to add additional details, you can use this user defined fields. Next, personal information. From personal information, uh, you can extend your record retention period. Next, purchasers graph. From here we can view our purchases as a graph. Now here we can analyze our purchases monthly compared with previous years, last year and this year purchases, monthly purchases we can view here. And if you want to view details, by clicking these bars you can view. Okay, now here this is June 2021. If you want to view that month daily purchases, by clicking this bar you can view month daily sales. And also if you click this daily sales, you can view the transactions. Next, show settings. From here you can you can change settings, the transaction types and financial categories you can set from here. Next, purchase orders. We can view what are the purchase orders we have sent to that supplier. We can view purchase order number, document number, purchase order number, document date, and purchase value. Next, unpaid invoices. From here we can view what are the unpaid invoices. We can view date, document number, reference, due date, anticipated payment date, total outstanding, and status of that unpaid invoices. You can view overdue and unpaid invoices. If we exceed the credit period, that status will change to overdue. Now here due date is 24th July. Therefore, status is unpaid. Other ones, we already exceeded due date. Therefore, that status has changed to overdue. Next, report layouts. When we are setting that company settings, we can set statements or layout formats from document and statements. For an example, purchase orders, those things we can set from here. And if you want to change for particular supplier that purchase order format, we can change from here. Right, after enter these details, we can save this supplier. Okay, now you can create two suppliers. Okay, you can create supplier categories also. Go to suppliers list, supplier categories. By clicking add category, you can add supplier categories. You can enter supplier category description and save. This supplier category mainly used for reporting purposes. You can create supplier categories as your region wise, product wise, foreign local suppliers, like that. You can create supplier categories, and when you are generating reports, you can select that supplier category. Okay, now you can create a supplier category. Okay, and when you are creating supply time also, you can create your supplier categories. Go to category and click add new category, and you can create your supplier category. Okay, after you create your suppliers, you can view supplier list. From here you can view supplier name, category, balance, credit limit, those details, and you can customize these details by clicking this customize grid button. And if you want to add any column, you can tick, and if you want to remove any column, you can untick this column. And also you can sort this supplier list by clicking this heading. You can sort ascending or descending order. Furthermore, you can export this supplier list to CSV file, and if you want to sort multi-column sorting, by clicking this A to Z button, you can sort supplier listing. And you can add by clicking add level, and you can select column name, and you can select that balance, and you can sort. And if you have any foreign suppliers, that suppliers balance and credit limit will display in suppliers currency. And you can filter your suppliers here. If you have brought from this month or today, you can sort. And also uh, you can search your any suppliers, type in this search box, and you can search. Right, like that we can create suppliers, and we can uh, modify our list of suppliers. And also if you want to change any supplier details, by clicking this link, blue color link, you can change your supplier details. And after you select any supplier here, these buttons will activate. And if you want to delete any supplier, by clicking this delete button, you can delete. And if that supplier has transactions, you cannot delete that supplier. And here by clicking mark as active inactive, you can active or inactive suppliers. And by clicking this update button, you can change supplier details except supplier address. Other details you can change from here. Next, actions. From actions, you can quick view your supplier details and supplier transactions. And if you want to edit or delete, you can but from actions also you can edit or delete your suppliers. And if you want to add any transaction for this supplier, like purchase order, supplier invoice, and add payment, by clicking this link you can create that transactions. Okay, and you can view how many number of suppliers in your customer supplier list from here. Now currently this list has 42 suppliers. Right, okay. We will wrap up for today. Then we have shared these user manuals. If you cannot download, we will email these user manuals, and also uh, you can go through that user manuals and you can practice those transaction or master file creation. And also you may share, you will receive that last session videos link, and you can go through that link. And if you have any questions, please ask in next session. Okay, thank you very much. Stay safe.